I froze when she said it. Not the kind of freeze where you just stop moving.
The kind where your entire world tilts, and suddenly every memory you've been carefully organizing in your head for the past 3 years scrambles into chaos.
The kind where you realize you've been lying to yourself about something so obvious.
You're embarrassed you didn't see it sooner. Her mom looked at me across the kitchen island, coffee cup in hand, and said it so casually, like she was commenting on the weather. So you're the reason she never dates anyone. And I just stood there, frozen. Let me go back. I was 24 when I lost my best friend. Not to death, not to distance, to something worse, to silence, to the kind of ending where you both just stop trying because it's easier than admitting something went wrong. Her name was Sienna. We met in college. Second year, film studies class. She sat 2 seats away from me, always wore oversized flannels, always had her hair in a messy bun, always smelled like coffee and vanilla chapstick.
She was one of those people who seemed like they'd figured something out about life that the rest of us were still searching for. We became friends, the way most college friendships start.
A borrowed pen, a shared complaint about the professor, an invitation to grab lunch that turned into grabbing lunch every Tuesday for the next 2 years. Sienna was easy to be around.
She didn't need me to perform, didn't need me to be funnier or smarter or more interesting than I was. She just liked me.
And I liked her. We'd stay up late in her dorm room watching old movies, French New Wave,
Italian neorealism.
Things neither of us really understood but pretended to because it felt sophisticated. She'd pause the film every 10 minutes to point out a shot she loved, the way the light hit someone's face, the composition of a doorway. You see that? She'd say, leaning forward.
That's intentional. That's the whole point. I nod like I saw it too.
Most of the time, I was just watching her. After graduation, we stayed close. She moved into a small apartment downtown.
I stayed with my parents for a while, saving money, trying to figure out what I actually wanted to do with my life. We still saw each other.
Coffee on Saturdays,
movies on weeknights,
long walks through the city where we talk about everything and nothing. People always ask if we were together. Servers at restaurants,
her co-workers,
my family, we'd laugh it off.
No.
Just friends, and I believed it. I really did, but looking back now, I see the moments I missed. The way she'd look at me sometimes when she thought I wasn't paying attention. The way she'd lean just a little too close when we shared a booth. The way she'd text me at midnight with you awake, like she needed to hear my voice before she could sleep. I didn't see it, or I didn't want to. Things changed when I started dating Emma. Emma was different from Sienna.
Louder,
more social.
She had opinions about everything and needed me to have opinions too. Dating her felt like being on stage.
Performing, proving something. Sienna met her once. We all had dinner together. It was awkward in the way dinners are awkward when you're trying too hard to make people like each other.
Emma talked too much.
Sienna barely talked at all.
I spent the whole night trying to fill the silences. After that, things shifted. Sienna stopped answering my texts as quickly.
Stopped suggesting we hang out. When I'd ask if she wanted to grab coffee, she'd say she was busy. When I'd invite her to things, she'd have other plans. I told myself she was just giving me space, that she understood I needed time for my relationship, but the truth was, I felt her pulling away, and I didn't fight it, because it was easier.
Because Emma didn't like how much time I spent with Sienna. Because somewhere deep down, I knew something about Sienna and me felt too close for comfort. 6 months into dating Emma,
I stopped reaching out to Sienna altogether, and she stopped reaching out to me. We didn't fight,
didn't have a dramatic falling out.
We just faded, like a song that slowly gets quieter until you don't even notice it stopped playing. I told myself it was normal.
People grow apart.
Life gets busy. Friendships end. But I thought about her more than I should have. Wondered what she was doing. If she ever thought about me. If she was angry. If she missed me. Emma and I broke up a year later. It wasn't dramatic. We just stopped making sense.
Stopped trying.
She said I was emotionally unavailable. I didn't argue. After that, I thought about reaching out to Sienna, texting her,
calling her, showing up at her apartment with coffee and an apology. But I didn't. Because what would I even say?
3 years passed. I moved on. Sort of. Dated a few people. Nothing serious. Focused on work. Tried to build a life that felt like mine. But I still thought about her. Late at night.
When I'd hear a song we used to listen to.
When I'd pass the theatre where we saw that terrible French film and laughed the whole way home. Then, 2 months ago, I ran into her mom. I was at the grocery store.
Buying the basics.
Bread, eggs, coffee.
I turned the corner into the cereal aisle, and there she was.
Carol. Sienna's MOM. She looked the same.
A little grayer.
But the same warm smile.
The same kind eyes. Oh my God, she said, stopping her cart.
I didn't think I'd run into you. My heart jumped. Carol.
Hi.
How are you? I'm good, sweetheart. How are you? We made small talk. Weather, work.
The usual. Then she asked the question I'd been dreading. Do you ever talk to Sienna anymore?
I shook my head.
No, not in a while. She nodded slowly. Didn't look surprised.
That's a shame. She misses you. You know, the words hit harder than they should have.
She does. She won't say it, but I can tell. She doesn't talk about you. Doesn't mention your name.
But that's how I know. I didn't know what to say to that. You should come by, Carol said suddenly. For coffee. Sienna's out of town this week, but I'd love to catch up properly. I've always liked you. I should have said no. Should have made an excuse. But I said yes. That's how I ended up in Sienna's childhood kitchen a week later, sitting across from her MOM, holding a mug of tea I hadn't touched. Carol talked about everything. Her garden.
Her book club.
Sienna's job.
How she was doing well.
How she'd gotten a promotion. How she seemed happy, but she doesn't date. Carol said, almost offhandedly.
I keep telling her she needs to put herself out there. She's almost 30, but she just shrugged me off. I nodded, not sure what to say. Then Carol looked at me.
Really looked at me. So you're the reason she never dates anyone. The words didn't land at first.
I blinked.
What?
Carol smiled softly, but it wasn't cruel.
It was sad.
I've known for years, honey. Since college.
The way she'd talk about you. The way she'd light up when you'd call.
I knew. My chest tightened. Knew what? That she loved you.
More than a friend. I froze. My hands went numb. My throat closed.
I couldn't move. Carol kept talking, but her voice sounded far away.
I thought maybe you'd figure it out.
Or maybe you did and just didn't feel the same way. But when you two stopped talking, she changed.
She didn't say anything, but I could see it. She stopped dating.
Stopped trying. I think she's still waiting. For what?
My voice barely came out. For you to come back. I stared at the table.
At my untouched tea.
At the small chip in the mug's handle. I didn't know. I whispered, didn't you? The question hung in the air. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Because the truth was, maybe I did.
Maybe I'd always known. Somewhere underneath all the denial.
Maybe that's why I'd pulled away. Why I'd let her go without a fight. Because acknowledging it would have meant facing something I wasn't ready to face. I don't know what to do, I said quietly. Carol reached across the table and squeezed my hand.
You don't have to do anything. But if you feel something, even a little bit, don't let it sit for another 3 years.
Talk to her. Be honest. The worst thing you can do is keep running from it. I left Carol's house an hour later, my head spinning. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, staring at my phone. Sienna's contact was still there, still saved with the stupid photo I'd taken of her in college. Mid-laugh, coffee cup halfway to her mouth, I started typing a text 6 different times. Deleted it every time. Finally, I just sent, "Hey, are you around this week?"
I'd like to talk. She didn't respond for 3 hours. When she did, it was short. I'm back Friday.
Coffee?
I said yes. Friday came too fast and too slow at the same time. We met at our old spot.
The cafe near her apartment. The one with the terrible latte art and the good croissants. I got there early.
Ordered a black coffee I didn't drink.
Sat in the corner booth where we used to sit. When she walked in, my heart stopped. She looked the same. Different, but the same.
Her hair was shorter. Her style sharper. But her eyes were the same.
Careful, guarded, like she was bracing for something. She sat down across from me.
Order tea. We didn't say anything for a long moment. Then she said, "You wanted to talk." I nodded.
Yeah, about what?
I took a breath.
I saw your MOM. Her face shifted. She told you. It wasn't a question. Yeah. Sienna looked down at her tea, wrapped her hands around the cup. I didn't ask her to. I know, but I'm not going to apologize for it either. I'm not asking you to. She looked up at me then. Her eyes were wet, but she wasn't crying.
Then what are you asking? I don't know, I admitted.
I
didn't know. Or I didn't let myself know.
And I keep thinking about the last 3 years and how stupid I was.
How I let you go because I was scared. Scared of what?
Of this.
Of feeling something I couldn't control.
of losing you if I said the wrong thing, Sienna laughed. But it was bitter. You lost me anyway. I know. We sat in silence. The cafe hummed around us. Other conversations.
Other lives continuing while ours felt frozen. Why didn't you ever say anything?
I asked, because I didn't want to ruin what we had. And then you started dating Emma, and I realized I'd already ruined it by waiting too long. So I pulled away.
Because watching you be with someone else was worse than not seeing you at all. Her honesty broke something open in me. I think about you all the time, I said quietly.
I've tried not to. I've tried to move on, but I can't.
And I don't know if what I feel is just missing my best friend or if it's something more. But I think it's more.
I think it's been more for a long time, and I was just too scared to admit it. Sienna's hands trembled slightly around her cup. And what do you want me to do with that?
I want you to tell me if I'm too late. She looked at me for a long moment,
her eyes searching mine. Then she said, You're not too late.
But you're not early either.
I've spent 3 years trying to get over you, and I'm tired. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of wondering. If you want this, you have to be sure.
Because I can't do half measures.
Not with you. I'm sure, I said. And I meant it, are you?
I don't know what this looks like. I don't know if it'll work. But I know I don't want to lose you again. And I know I'd rather try and fail than spend the rest of my life wondering what if. Sienna's eyes filled with tears then.
Real ones.
She wiped them away quickly.
You're going to have to be patient with me.
I don't trust this yet. I know.
I'll wait. And you're going to have to prove it. Not with words. With showing up. With being here. I will. She nodded slowly, then reached across the table.
Her hand found mine, and we just sat there, holding hands in a cafe where we'd spent hundreds of hours as friends, now trying to become something else. It's been 2 months since that conversation. We're taking it slow, relearning each other, building something new on the foundation of what we had. It's not perfect. We fight sometimes. Old wounds still hurt.
She still doesn't trust me completely.
And I'm still learning how to be honest instead of running. But it's real. We went to the movies last week.
Watched an old Truffaut film she'd been wanting to see.
Halfway through, she leaned her head on my shoulder.
And I realized this was the moment I'd been running from for years. This quiet, simple, terrifying intimacy. I don't know where this goes.
I don't know if we'll make it. But I know I'm not running anymore. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Thanks.